Hello and welcome to episode number 7 of the Social Q&A show. My name is Matt Kelly and today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different from usual. And it's a little bit different because I'm actually going to take some footage from a keynote presentation I did not long ago to a group of university students who are just about to graduate. Now, when you're a university student and you're just about to graduate, what's the most important thing? The most important thing is setting yourself up for success in your industry. How do you do that? Well, I believe that you can massively set yourself apart if you start to use social and community to build a presence around you. And so basically what I did was, this is a group of event planning students, but the tactics we talk about here, we talk about interviewing other thought leaders to elevate your own profile. We talk about using Twitter to build an audience, and we talk about building a lead magnet to essentially bring people in the market to you. It's just some interesting tactics, some really simple stuff. They scale for any industry, whether you're about to graduate and enter a market, or whether you are like maybe an existing business and you're looking to carve new directions, new pathways into new spaces. That's really what this is about. There's so many opportunities here and the tactics are really simple to implement. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Just a quick caveat before we start. Thank you so much to everyone who's found the podcast through iTunes. We're currently featured on the homepage in Australia, I believe in the US as well. So thank you so much for supporting the show, and I really appreciate it when you hit subscribe on there. You can always jump through to YouTube and leave comments if you want to. But yeah, thank you very much, and here is the video starting right now. I started to think about what would be useful for you guys to learn. What can I give you guys? And so I've got some very specific examples of how, if I was in your situation, if I was finishing up study, if I was looking for a job in the space, if I wanted to eventually be a thought leader, an inspirer, someone of meaning in the space, what would I do? What would I do today if I had nothing, if I was starting from zero? And I've got a couple of very, very explicit examples of exactly what I would do, down to the platforms I would use online to build your thought leadership. So I'm just going to go through them because I think that's where you guys will get the most value. For those of you who are actually interested, who actually are really wanting to create content, and most don't. Most people don't want to do that because it's time consuming and effort, and a couple of internships will get you the job that you want. That's fine. If that's all you want, that's totally cool. There's no judgment. That's fine. But for me, it was all about building a real career in the space that I wanted to get into. So I've got this idea, and I hope someone in this room, or in the room that I'm talking to this afternoon, I hope someone does this, because I honestly believe it'll work. At this conference today, there's 12 speakers who've donated time to come and speak at this event. And I thought about that and I was like, sweet, so you've got 12 people there. I'm the least qualified to talk about events. There's got experts in their field over there, right? Those people have donated their time. You know they're not getting paid to do it. You know they're in that room because they care about events. As people entering the space, think about the thought leadership that you would get by networking with them. You could go and have a chat to them. You probably will at lunchtime. That's great. Send them an email. Want to catch up. That's fine. Offer to do free work for them. That's all fine, right? That's what everyone does. And that's probably part of the challenge, right? When everyone does that, it's really hard to stand out. So here's what I would do. I was thinking about how you would build thought leadership in your space, and probably the killer, the one key point that I would do is think about how you would use those relationships to create content. Because you can easily go out there and position yourself as a budding event planner, or even as an event planner, a growing event planner, whatever it is. You don't have to go out there and pretend to be an expert today, but I guarantee you, if you started a blog today, literally if you went to Squarespace or Wix or any one of the free networks that let you to create a blog, and then you created a Twitter account, and then you created a YouTube channel, right? Then you jumped on LinkedIn, and you just started to find the different people who spoke at this event, other people in the events industry in Brisbane, and you hit them up and said, hi, I was at the event, really liked your talk. Wondering if I could interview you, either via Skype, record it, video content, or you might send them an email and say, here's a series of questions. Ask them about their experience, ask them about what they do, ask them about their challenges in the industry. Because they'll all be willing to do it. That's ego, right? Everyone likes that. Everyone likes to feel loved in that space. But when you do that, you're building a crazy relationship. That's an insane relationship. They will never ever forget you if you do that, right? And then you can take that context, that meaning, that relationship, and then use that to reach out to other people. If I was in this room, I would be hitting up the top 100 people who have the word events in their job title on LinkedIn today. And I would be trying to build that relationship and offer to do something like that. Because they're not used to that. They're not used to being featured like that. They're not used to getting that sort of exposure. But that stretches far beyond just saying, hey, can I do an internship with you? Or hey, can I come in there and learn from you? Or can we have a chat? Or can we have a coffee, right? That's time and that's hard. But if you say something that scales for them, that they can then post on their Facebook page and brag to their friends about because they're excited, that's everything. That's meaning, that's context, that's value, right? When the podcast Living Outrageously got featured on iTunes, the first 20 viewers, stoked, pumped, cannot believe 20 people actually downloaded that show. That's ridiculous. And it was hard. It was to actually create that content is hard. It's super time consuming. It's not easy. It's never going to be easy. It's always going to be difficult. But that's why we stand out. That's why we're on the homepage of iTunes, because other people just don't do it. There's plenty of thought leaders out there that don't want to do that. It's too much work. They're quite happy to sit in their room, in their office, and do their day-to-day job, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine. But if you want to take a step forward, if you want to get the exponential career growth that you can get, the relationships are all it comes down to. Even down to what your work that you're actually doing. That's the value. I've got a couple of other strategies that I think would be super interesting if anyone ever actually wanted to execute on any of them. Imagine if you created, who uses Twitter? Does anyone here use Twitter? Actively? Daily? Hourly? No. Not hourly? Okay, cool. No, that's cool, right? So for me, Twitter is the most powerful resource in the world. I use search.twitter.com every single day. It is, I think I mentioned it earlier, it's the core source of new business for us as an agency who deliver social media strategies, and it's not cheap stuff, right? Because we're actually on it day in, day out. And it's been crazy for me, right? I use Twitter every single day for that. But I was thinking about, for an events student, what could you do using Twitter to build your credibility, your thought leadership? If you created a Twitter account called Brisbane Events, right? Not Matt Kelly, not ABC Events Pty Ltd, right? Brisbane Events, make it off-brand, make it more emotive and feeling-based, more than about you and about your company. And then if you went there and searched every single event planner, event manager who's on Twitter, follow them, okay? And then start to engage with them, so when they post a photo of the last wedding that they did, comment on the wedding, right? When you see a big event, a big organisation, they're hosting their big event, retweet them, share the love with them, right? You start to get traction. I guarantee you will build a presence. I guarantee you will get traction. People pay attention to that. They honestly do, because I'm used to putting out a tweet and getting no response, right? That's what most people are used to with Twitter. They'll just spam out links or whatever they do, right? Because no one's actually paying attention. But every professional speaking at this conference are all on Twitter. Half of you guys, a couple of you guys are on Twitter, right? So we know there's people in the industry doing it, and you can actually search terms like events, geolocated around Brisbane, and find the exact influencers you're trying to reach. By engaging with them there, it's a totally new layer to a relationship that who knows where that could go. 10 years' time, that could come to fruition, and they're going to remember that you were the one who was chatting to them about the first event they ever ran. That's meaning, that's context, that's building an actual relationship. There's a final point, there's a final little strategy that I like the idea of, very hard to execute on. If someone did it, I'd be blown away, I would actually love it. I would actually, I'll donate time to whoever wants to do this, because I think it's pretty epic. Has anyone heard of a lead magnet? A lead magnet is a piece of content that you put on a landing page on a website and give away in order to attract leads, right? So it could be an ebook on the top 7 trends I see in events in Queensland, or it could be a video series on different presentation styles, or it could be the 3 venues I would use if I was an event manager in Brisbane, whatever it is, right? So you write the ebook, could be 2 pages long, doesn't matter. PDF it, go to a website like leadpages.com, build a landing page with an email opt-in, name, put the product right there, like literally have it right there. If they enter in their details, they get the product, right? And then use Facebook targeted advertising to target that to people in the events industry. Because what you're doing then is you're sharing value with them without even knowing who they are initially, right? And then they actually care about you because you added value first. So in their newsfeed, they see, because you've targeted an ad to people with events in their job title within 50 kilometres of the Brisbane CBD, hey, check out the free ebook on how to host your event in Brisbane. They're definitely going to click that. Are you kidding me? They work in Brisbane. They have to know what that is. They absolutely must know what's going on in that space. It's crucial. So for me, when I look at that and I go, how do you attract leads? How do you attract people in the space to build a relationship with? They're not necessarily going to pay you money to host an event. They're probably an event planner themselves. But it's a relationship that you can get so much traction from, because it comes down to adding value first, not second. It's not asking for something first. Because when you ask for something first, you're putting up a barrier or a hurdle. Right? It's really, really hard to scale that. When you've got that hurdle, it's massive. It's near impossible. And I'm going to do something dramatic, right? Can I jump or something? Make it look really awesome? No, I'm kidding. So for me, that lead magnet tool is massive. I wouldn't do it first. The Twitter stuff, easy, right? Super easy, right? Interviewing people, easy. It's one email, 1-to-1. That's massive. That's meaningful. People actually pay attention to that.
What was that website called that you said before you were talking about Twitter?
Before I was talking about Twitter. What was I talking about? To create a blog? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, so there's thousands of them. Wix, W-I-X. Squarespace is another one. If you're getting really tech savvy, or you know someone in the space, then you could use something like WordPress and use a theme from Theme Forest. It's essentially you can get a legit website up for $30, $40, $50. that looks substantial, actually has meaning. It's not like what it was 10 years ago when you had to spend 20, 30 grand to get a real website, right? Like you can do that for really, really cost effectively. Hell, you can go on Tumblr and make a Tumblr blog, right? That's like 4 seconds to create that. I know that because Tumblr actually spent a crazy amount of time A/B testing, split testing, right? Grouping different cohorts and like changing the design of the page to see what would push people through the fastest. So I know that Tumblr spent make it easy. So I would even use Tumblr for the first shot, right? I would 100% be doing that. I would be using LinkedIn. LinkedIn is crazy. If you're not on LinkedIn now, like sort that out, because you can search for anyone in your industry and everyone's willing to connect because they've been accustomed to it, right? They've been spammed for so long on the power of LinkedIn that they're just used to it. So the biggest thing I was going to say was, right now you can afford to not be scalable, right? It's not like this is just hypothesis. Some of you may not be. Some of you might be crazy busy. But if it was me sitting down in this room, I would know that I've got 2 hours every night. I've got 4 hours every Saturday morning, right? I would use that time to do the unscalable stuff, to build the one-to-one relationships, using Twitter for that, because that's where the power is. And that doesn't pay off tomorrow necessarily, it could, but it could take 5 years. But when it does, the payoff is massive. All right, well, if you got this far, thanks so much for watching. I know it's a pretty intense video. Yeah, those students didn't really know what was coming when I came in just ranting and yelling and walking back and down and whatever. But you know what that's like? It's like, you got to engage an audience and capture attention and hopefully share some insight that was valuable. So I hope this was valuable for you guys. If you like this, please make sure you hit subscribe either in YouTube or iTunes, wherever you're watching this. If you want to get in touch with me, it's at Matthew Kelly on Twitter. Otherwise, leave comments on the YouTube channel. That is probably by far the simplest way to get in touch with me. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave feedback and all that stuff. And yeah, Matt Kelly, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.